Hello, my name is Hawk and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing chicken livers and gizzards, and I'm going to be frying a little bit of chicken as well to go with some of my car buddies. I'm over at a friend of mine's house. The neat thing about my kitchen is it's portable. I can pick it up and go wherever I want to and still cook for a large crowd. Although here I'm not going to be cooking for that many people. I'm probably expecting about a dozen. So anyway, what I'm doing here is in this skillet here, I just fried some bacon, and I pulled the bacon out, but I left the oil there. And what I'm going to do here with this is first off, I'm going to move it here just a little bit over here, and I'm also frying potatoes. So I'm going to start adding these potatoes to this skillet. Now, this is a pretty good sized skillet. It's about a 18-inch skillet. And that smells good right off the bat, just like that. And I'm going to continue to add a little bit of seasoning to it. And that was salt and pepper. I'm going to add just a little bit of a different type of salt to it there. And let's see. And let's throw a little bit of heat in there. This is chipotle powder. All right, now that's starting. Okay, now in this cooker here, it's a really neat cooker. A friend of mine gave me this and the pot too. He'll be here later today as well. My buddy Roger gave me this, and I really like it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start frying those gizzards, but I've got some oil already prepped in this skillet, and I'm going to go ahead and start heating that oil up. All right, now over here kind of behind y'all, or behind me here, is where I'm gonna start working on these chicken livers and gizzards. And I'm just going to use some of these little disposable pans. It's just real easy for me to use these little disposable pans. And first off, I'm gonna crack some eggs in this. Okay, that was half a dozen eggs, and I'm gonna go ahead and salt them and pepper them. I like to salt and pepper as I go. Every time I add something, I'll add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, because I season for what I've got in there. So those eggs are now seasoned and ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and whip them a little bit, not too much. And I want to add just a little bit of milk. And I'm going to salt and pepper just a hair more. I want this stuff to be well seasoned. Okay, now I need to move some stuff around here just a little bit here. Now, I've prepped out a bunch of things. I've already got a bunch of stuff already prepped out. What I have here is I've got a pressure cooker. Now, I pressure cooked the gizzards for 10 minutes. Basically, you just bring it up till it starts to rock, and once it starts to rock, that's when you start your time. So I cooked them for about 10 minutes just to get them kind of tenderized just a little bit, so they'll cook a little better. They're done enough that you could eat them, but I wouldn't recommend it, because there's not going to be a lot of flavor there. I'm going to use this spider to get them out. Okay, now I'm going to get this out of my way. And I'm going to salt and pepper them. There's salt and pepper in my flour, but I like to salt and pepper, as I said a minute ago, as I go. I like everything to be seasoned, so I season my flour separate, I season my eggs separate, I season my chicken liver separate. Okay. So I'm just going to get in here with a pair of tongs and kind of stir these up a little bit. Now these are turkey and chicken gizzards. I cooked a bunch of turkeys. And in here I've got flour, salt, pepper, paprika. And here now the flour I'm using is self-rising flour. I think I want a little more flour than that. That ought to do it. Now I want to do the same over here. I'm going to put a little paprika in my flour first. Put a little pepper. And a little bit of salt. And in case you see me grabbing 3 or 4 different types of salt, that's by design. I prefer different types of salt for different things. I like to use kosher salt when I'm finishing something up. Okay, now these gizzards, I drained them quite a bit with that spider. I'm just going to dump some of these in here. About like so. And I'm just going to kind of roll them around in here a little bit and let them sit there for just a few minutes. I had one get away from me. Now, I could fry these things just like this, but I prefer, see what that is. That is almost up to heat. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my next step here. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna drop them in this egg mixture. I'm gonna try to pick out the bigger ones. Those are all turkey gizzards. Roll them around there and get them a little wet, and then just dump them in that other pan. So I'm doing a flour, egg, flour. Now on those potatoes that I'm frying, it's hard to explain, but I'm using my nose to let me know when it's time to lift that lid over. And I can smell that it's getting pretty close, that I need to turn in potatoes just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna raise this lid and see what's happening in here. I don't know about y'all, but that's starting to look pretty good. All right. Trying to keep one hand clean. All right, that's up to temp now. So I'm gonna start frying these. Now, I don't know whether you've noticed or not, but I use several different pairs of tongs. And they look different, so I don't accidentally pick up the wrong ones. What I've got here is I fried some bacon in the bottom of this skillet before I added them potatoes in there. And that's what I'm cooking them in. And I'm gonna add this bacon back to that when it's done. But for right now, I'm gonna slide it off the fire. It sounds strange, but they come out a whole lot better if you'll cook them in phases. Now I got phase one there done. Now, in this strainer here, I'm just gonna drop these gizzards in here and let them drip. That way they'll get real, all that oil will drain off of them. And you can actually tell by the sound when they're done, because they slow down, they don't entirely stop sizzling, but they get really slow in their sizzling. All right, now I'm gonna start dropping these back in here. You got to keep a pretty quick eye on these things because they will sure get done in a hurry. Those look good, don't they? Okay, what I'm doing here is that all that oil that I cooked them gizzards in is starting to get a little dark, and I want some fresh oil. I want all those cooked bits out. So what I'll do is I'll just strain that out, and it'll just sit there and kind of run, and I'll clean this skillet out here. And about the time I get this skillet all cleaned out, most of that oil will have already filtered back out, and I can reuse it again. All right, I'm going to reflour my pan here just a little bit. That was Spanish paprika, and this is Hungarian paprika. Okay, now kind of the same process that I went through those gizzards with. I'm doing this. I'm going flour, egg, and then back into the flour again. And about the time I get these things breaded, I'm thoroughly expecting that oil to be hot enough to start cooking. Well, that says it's hot enough. All right, these gizzards, or livers rather, are ready to turn. I'm sure you can tell by the size of them, the majority of these are turkey livers. Okay, it's time to pull these out and add a new batch. Got them ready to go, and I'm gonna put on a glove. Now, I'm not doing this for my old buddies. I'm doing this for me because I don't like the way raw chicken livers feel. what I'm doing is I'm moving these around because this thing's a little hotter in the middle. So those that's getting done a little fast, I'm moving them to the outside. And some of these that's on the outside, I'm moving them to the inside so they'll kind of cook at the same pace. Okay, that's it. You've seen my chickens and gizzards, and all I'm going to do at this point in time is finish up those fried potatoes, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll. These guys are starting to show up, and I'm sure they're hungry. So thanks for tuning in. Love you bunches. My name is Hawk, and welcome to my kitchen.